What is the Kitty Genovese case?
The Kitty Genovese case is about a young girl who was stabbed to death by a man called Winston Moseley. The case is famous and attracted attention from social psychologists due to the fact that 40 people had witnessed the attack and yet had done nothing about it.
Actionability.
The fusion of responsibility is where a person is less likely to take responsibility for action when other people are about. The person assumes that others either are responsible for taking action or have already done so. This tends to happen in groups of people when the responsibility hasn't been assigned to a specific person. It rarely happens when a person is alone.
Ignorance.
Pluralistic ignorance is when a group of people secretly reject the norm, but incorrectly assume that everyone else doesn't, and therefore goes along with it. This is also known as no one believes, but everyone thinks that everyone believes. This helps us explain the bystander effect, that people are more likely to help in an emergency when alone and when other people are around. When they look around and they see nobody is helping, even though they themselves may want to help, they won't help. Although as soon as one person helps, they begin to follow.
Choose a field experiment.
There were earlier experiments which were in the lab but were unrealistic and lacked ecological validity. Therefore, Pilyavin decided he should do a field experiment so they could observe behaviour in the everyday world.
What's the aim of the study?
The aim of the study was to investigate factors affecting helping behaviour. The factors that they were interested in included the type of victim, drunk or ill, the race of the victim, black or white, the speed of the helping, the frequency of helping, the race of the helper, black or white. Importantly, the field experiment also investigated the impact of the presence of a model, someone who offers help first, as well as the relationship between the size of the group and the frequency of helping. Still filming, what the flip, man, stop.
In an emergency, what is the bystander?
The bystander, bruv, what is the...
People act in an emergency. What is the bystander effect?
The bystander effect is when people don't help one another when they witness someone.
People act in an emergency. People act in an emergency. What is the bystander effect?
Dude, carry on.
Realistic. What?
Oh, you.
Ignorance.
Pluralistic ignorance is when.
No. What is pluralistic ignorance? So it's easy for you.
No, not even. You just hold it like that. It's not that it's hard. I just said the last bit wrong. It's no one believes, but everyone thinks that everyone believes. But I said no one believes, but everyone thinks that everyone doesn't believe. Stuff like that.
Actually, but I'll make it easy for you. Go like that, then you can read this part after.
Shut up, man. Just say the thing.
Choose a field experiment.
There was an earlier experiment.
Choose a field experiment.
Retake.
I'm sorry, he's laughing. He's laughing. It's not my fault. Why did they choose a field experiment?
I heard something good.
Why did they choose a field experiment?
There was earlier experiments which in the lab.
Why?
Oh my days.
You're going to
retake.
Why did they choose a field experiment?
There were earlier experiments which were in the lab, but they were unrealistic and lacked ecological validity. Therefore, Pilyavin. I can't pronounce his name. Pilyavin.
Paul!
Oh.
Focus. Experiment.
There were earlier experiments which were in the lab, but were unrealistic and lacked ecological
Validity.
Retake.
Why did they choose a field experiment?
Oh, sorry, retake.
Well, we made some of them quite easy, so if they didn't know.
The fusion of money back and came for myself, but it wouldn't let me, so I had to actually buy something, so I had to get the teasers, and then I got the change. 3 teasers.
Wait, so